We are going to see overhead variance part 2. We have already seen fixed overhead cost variance. We have seen fixed overhead expenditure variance and fixed overhead volume variance. Today we are going to add two more variances: fixed overhead capacity variance and fixed overhead efficiency variance. So we are going to see again fixed overhead cost variance, fixed overhead expenditure variance, fixed overhead volume variance, fixed overhead cost variance, and fixed overhead efficiency variance. Now, I will give private tuition. So I will have to rent a building rent of building. I will have to rent a building for 50,000 a month, monthly. 50,000 I will have to pay rent, and budgeted number of students. I'm expecting that 5 students will come, and budgeted hours budgeted hours 2,000 hours. So I will have to pay rent of building, what we call budgeted overheads, 50,000 monthly. Budgeted number of students 5. I am expecting that 5 students will come for tuition. Budgeted hours, I will have to work for 2,000 hours. So I am expecting to work for 2,000 hours. Now, students A, students B, C, D, E. 5 students, and I will give tuition to student A depending on his syllabus. So I will have to work 1,000 hours with A in 1 month, and I will have to work 500 hours with B, 100 hours with C, 200 hours with D, and 200 hours with C. So 5 students will come for tuition. So I will teach A 100 hours because the syllabus is bulky, and 500 hours with the student B. He also has a lot of topic to cover, and I will have to work 100 hours with C and 200 hours with D and 200 hours with C. This will give us 2,000 hours total, a total of 2,000 hours. Now, so what will be the tuition fees for A, for B, for C, D, and E? So I will have to calculate the cost per hour, how much it will cost per hour. So I will have to pay rent of 50,000 monthly. If I can recover the rent, okay, 50,000 monthly, and I will have to work for 2,000 hours. So per hour, I will have to charge $25 per hour. So A is asking about a tuition fees. So I will have to charge A 25,000 monthly. For this month, 25,000. For B 7,500, 12,500, and for C 2,500, and for D 5,000, and for C DE 5,000. So in all, I can recover $50,000 to pay for rent. I'm not working for profit. I just need to recover my rent of building, which is 50,000 monthly. So I start my tuition with A. Okay, I start my tuition with A. So trying to cover the syllabus in 1,000 hours, but it was not possible. I had to work more than 1,000 hours, so 1,100 hours, and he paid 25,000. He will not pay more because I have already told him that his tuition fees will be 25,000. Now B 500 hours. This also I have been late 6,000 hours with B, and I recover 12,500. And we see also I have been late in teaching C, and I took 200 hours instead of 100 hours, and now my tuition fees 2,500. So my tuition fees 2,500, and now I have fallen sick, so I have to stay at home. So I have not been able to give tuition to D and E. So in all, in 1 month, I work 19 hours, and I recover 37, 37, 38, 39, 40. I recover 40,000 only for rent. So here we are. The fixed building budgeted overhead $50,000, budgeted number of students 5, budgeted hours 2,000, and these students will come for tuition A, B, C, D, E, and the respective hours that I will give tuition to them and their costs. Okay, and this is the actual hours. This is actual hours work, and this is recovered costs. So here we are. Now we are going to make a statement in order to understand the concept of overhead variance. So we have budgeted overhead. What is a budgeted overhead? Budgeted overhead 50,000, and budgeted hours. Budgeted hours 2,000. So the recovery rate is $25 per hour. This is the recovery rate, and I will have to copy here actual hours, and here we have to copy a standard hours, and here we have recovered. Here we will have recovered, and here we'll have actual cost. So here we are, and we have to add in this example actual overhead, that is how much we pay for rent. We expected to pay rent 50,000, but it has been increased to 65,000. So actual overhead 65,000. So actual overhead 65,000. And how much I have been able to recover? Only $40,000. This we have seen. We have recovered $40,000. And actual hours work, budgeted hours 2,000 hours, budgeted 2,000 hours, actual hours work 1,900 hours. Now we have to calculate standard hours. Standard hours A, B, C. I have been able to give tuition to only A, B, and C. So how many hours I should take to teach A, B, and C? Hours for A, how much? 1,000. For B, 500, and for C, 100. So 1,500 and 100. So this will give us the standard hours, 16 hours, 1,600 hours. So this will be the standard hours. We have to multiply it by the standard, the recovery rate. So 1,600 times 25, this will give us $40,000. Now we recovered 40,000, but we have to pay 65,000. So this will give us fixed overhead cost variance. The fixed overhead cost variance will be 25,000. 65,000 minus 40,000. And here we expect to pay 50,000 for rent, but we pay 65,000. Rent has increased. So this will give us fixed overhead expenditure variance. This will be 15,000 adverse. And we recovered only 40,000, but we should have recovered 50,000. This will give us the volume variance, fixed overhead volume variance. This will be 10,000 adverse. So if you have to check it, 10,000 plus 15,000 adverse, this will give us 25,000 adverse. Now here we have the capacity to work 2,000 hours, but we work only 1,900 hours. So this one will give us fixed overhead capacity variance. So what will be the fixed overhead capacity variance? 100 hours times 25. This will give us 2,500 adverse. We have the capacity to work 2,000 hours monthly, but we work only 1,900 hours because I fell sick during the months, and I should have taken 1,600 hours to teach to give tuition to A, B, and C, but I took 1,900 hours. So this means that my efficiency is not good. Fixed overhead efficiency variance. So the difference will give us 300 hours times 25. This will give us 7,500 adverse. If we have to add the 2,500 adverse with 7,500 adverse, this will give us the volume. So capacity, fixed overhead capacity variance, fixed overhead capacity variance plus fixed overhead, this is efficiency, fixed overhead capacity variance plus fixed overhead efficiency variance, this will give us volume, fixed overhead volume variance. So we see it again. I recovered only $40,000 for rent, and the actual rent that I will have to pay $65,000. So fixed overhead cost variance will be $25,000 adverse. Budgeted, I will have to pay rent $50,000, but I expected to pay rent $50,000, but I paid $65,000. So this will be, the expenditure has increased. Fixed overhead expenditure variance 15,000 adverse. And here we recovered 40,000 instead of 50,000. So this will give us the fixed overhead volume variance 10,000 adverse. If you have to check it, 10,000 adverse plus 15,000 adverse, this will give us 25,000 adverse. Now we have the capacity to work 2,000 hours, but I work only 1,900 hours, so my capacity is not good. Fixed overhead capacity variance, the difference 100 hours time 25 recovery rate, this will give us 2,500 adverse. Standard hours to give tuition to A, B, and C, I should have taken 1,600 hours, but I took 1,900 hours. This means that my efficiency is not good. I'm not working efficiently. I'm taking more hours to teach A, B, and C. So efficiency will be 300 hours times 25. This will give us 7,500 adverse. If we add both capacity and efficiency, this will give us volume variance. Now, let us see in terms of formula, how do we calculate the variances. We have the first one. Fixed overhead cost variance is equal to recovered minus actual overhead. Recovered minus actual overhead. What is a recovered? 40,000 minus 65,000 actual. We recover only 40,000, but the cost is 65,000. So I have not been able to recover 25,000. This will be adverse. Now fixed overhead expenditure variance. This will be actual overhead minus budgeted overhead. So we replace actual overhead 65,000, budgeted overhead 50,000. So this will give us 15,000 adverse. Now we are going to see fixed overhead, fixed overhead, volume variance, recovered minus budgeted overhead, recovered minus budget, recovered 40,000 minus budget 50,000. This will give us 10,000 adverse. And now we are going to see fixed overhead capacity variance. Fixed overhead capacity variance, actual hours minus budgeted hours time recovery rate. So actual hours 1900 minus 2000 hours time recovery rate 25. This will give us 2500 adverse. We expect to work for 2000 hours, but we work only 2000 hours, we work only 1900 hours. So the capacity not good. And now fixed overhead efficiency variance. Fixed overhead efficiency variance, standard hours minus actual hours time recovery rate. So what is a standard hours? 1600 minus 1900 times 25. This will give us 7,500 adverse. So here we are concerning variance. So fixed overhead variance, recovered minus actual. So 40,000 minus 65,000, this will give us 25,000 adverse. We have not been recovered. We have not been able to recover 65,000 foreign. We recovered only 40,000. Fixed overhead efficiency variance, expenditure variance. Actual overhead, right, that we have to pay 65,000, and the budgeted overhead was 50,000. So actual overhead is greater than budgeted overhead. This will give us adverse 15,000. And then we have fixed overhead volume variance. This is recovered minus budgeted overhead. Recovered 40,000, but I will have the budgeted overhead to pay 50,000. So this is adverse 10,000. And fixed overhead capacity variance, actual hours minus budgeted hours time recovery rate. Actual hours 1900 hours I work, but I should have worked the capacity 2000 hours. So 100 hours I have not been able to work due to illness. So this 100 hours time 25, this will give us 2500 adverse. Fixed overhead efficiency variance, standard hours minus actual hours time recovery rate. Standard hours 1600 hours. So I should take 1600 hours to give tuition to A, B, and C, but I took 1900 hours. I took more hours in teaching A, B, and C, so my efficiency was not good. Time recovery rate 25. This will give us 7,500 advice. Thank you very much.